exactly what I mean when I say move, breathe, create. Can you get yourself back into that morning routine, into that flow, into that place where we were just at? So the invitation this time is just to find that dignified posture again, right? You move away from the cowardice, the weight of the world, the stress, the overexcitement, and you move back into this place of elevated emotion, that opportunity to listen. Sure, there's some landscapers, there's urban noises, but there's also birds, there's water, there's wind, there's speckled light, there's this call into the present moment and awareness. How alert can you get? Can you hear everything? Can you feel the sun literally shining into your pores? As if the sun and the bird song is charging you, it's nourishing you with light, with nature, with elevated emotion, with now. Collectively connect in breath with a double inhale in through the nose. Open mouth exhale. Slight pause at the bottom. Belly rises. Chest rises on the second. Soft body exhale, come down. Again, slight pause, softening posture. Find your pace. Move towards expanse, move towards soft body. Connect at the top of your next inhale, find fold. Extra sip, hold it here. Again, feel this energy that tie back to all of the sun coming into your cells, this alertness, this awareness, yet this calm, this powerful energy. And soft body, let the exhale fall back out, bring a sway, a shake, a kayak through the shoulders, a dance through the hips, a little knee knocking. Invite that movement to come back into your body and slowly transition in this dreamy, flowy state into all fours. A little tabletop position. And as you settle in, kind of lift your hand and then push back into the ground. You kind of lift one hand and push harder into the side. Feel the arm get all the way long. Stay spread. Good, and push through the ground all the way. Push into the ground. Find a little cat position in the back. And then screw your hands into the ground as if you're rotating towards the pinky. And as you do that, bring awareness of your feet. Can you tuck and push through your back toe mount? Can you push into the ground so that you get that cat back, but broaden your collarbones and bring your heart forward slightly. Find your breath in this position. Breathing into the back of the body and exhale, pushing harder into the ground. Then begin to invite in softness. Come back down into that cow, into that sway back. The eyes can rise, and you can tuck the chin. Find that big position. So moving into your traditional cat and cow, big emphasis on the tension into the ground, into your wrists, into your fingers, into your breath. As simple and as basic of a position as this is, I do this every day. Can you find this awareness of your scapula, your back, your mid-back, your spine? This is the section of our back that is made to move. Next time you get to a cat, go ahead and just settle into that position. And then you're gonna kick back with your right leg. Your kick back with your right leg, but through that right toe mount. Kick in with that toe mount and pull yourself as far forward as you can go, keeping the toes in contact with the ground, and then drop back and you passively stretch that heel a little bit, a little child's pose energy. So just rock yourself forward and back. That idea of leading with the heart and then pushing back through the heel. Just gradually warming up those little ligaments, that relationship with the ground, the ability to push back through the feet. Good. Find neutral, then find a lift of that right leg. Bring it as high as the hip. As it gets as high as the hip, find that cat-like posture again. Good. Flex the right ankle and then drop that right hip. Can you bring this down? Good. You find that down. There you go. And get rid of the bend in the elbow. And notice it's going to keep moving around. Kelly, can you find a little more cat up here? Up. There you go. All those little things. Now extend that left arm out in front of you. There you go. We're going to invite the thumb up on the left hand and to spread the fingers all the way. Mindful to push into the ground with the right hand, right? You're still maintaining cat posture. You're still pushing back through the right heel, but you're lifting and raising against the ceiling at the same time. And then, oh yeah, that whole breathing thing. Can you come back to a little breath? A little more length in that left arm. Natives are getting heavy. 5, 4, tension out of your neck. 3, 2, 1. Come back to that little cat and cow. That idea of soft body. You can wiggle, you can shake, you can soft body. Then anchor those hands back into the ground and now just shift your weight side to side. So you bring all the weight onto your left side by keeping the right side down. So you can push hard into that right side of the right hand. Then shift all your weight to the right. Push really hard with the left. Move the hips with it. So how far can the hips go? How far can the shoulders go over the wrists? But could it be truly side to side? And a lot of people get wrist stuff or they say, oh, I can't do that. Downward dog hates me. I can't do a push-up. It's because your wrists are jacked up, right? It's hard. It's uncomfortable. So this is how you start. This is one of those workouts. It's not going to beat up your joints, but you can learn how to move it. All right, kick that left leg back. Again, get through that heel, push through it, and then find that little seesaw forward and back. All right, keeping the arms long. Can you find engagement in the back of your body as you passively stretch that calf? The leg stays nice and long, and you're getting used to feeling the top of your foot, pushing through toe mount. It's exploration, it's flow, right? As you learn these principles, can you adapt them? Can you tap into your felt state? Settle back into a good stable posture and then find the lift of that left leg. You find that lift, you maintain that cat-like posture in the ground, and when the hands get heavy, you soften them, you shake them, you move. You can always adjust, you can always breathe. Okay, now you're gonna find the lift of the right hand, extend it out in front of you. That hand should be about shoulder height, but as you find that lift in the right hand, double back down, pushing into the left hand, right? So find that yin-yang of your hands. Feel the same thing with your hips. If the right knee drives down, push back against that left heel. And you got all this posture, you got all this strength, can you now find your breath back behind it? 2 more slow, steady breaths. So if I say 2 more breaths, what we mean is kind of ujjayi. Can we breathe in for about 5 seconds? And can we breathe out for about 5 seconds? So really what I'm saying is one breath's gonna take about 10 seconds. Good, go ahead and soften and find a child's pose. Big toes can come together. So that child's pose and that cat and cow, we're talking about basic fundamentals being simple, like this is everyday stuff. Every day you come to the ground, you wanna have longevity, you tap back into the ground. And again, we're joking about being shamans and earth shamans. You're getting all of these points of contact on the ground. So use those points of contact and come back up to all fours. Settle back into that position, okay? Get that little tension, that little cat and cow. Extend your right leg and your left arm. Find bird dog. Okay, so just nice and long. Okay, so you're gonna keep the arm high. keeping your right leg straight, bring it out as wide as you can and hold it. Right leg out wide, hand stays still, all right? And can this big toe kind of continue to stay point down and squeeze against that side wall? Bring it back. Good, take a breath and then come back. Okay, keep that going about 5 times. Kind of squeeze it, right, come back. Tension stays into the ground, right? Into the ground, against your body, against your back line. So although you're moving, right, the way we define core strength is can you stabilize your spine and move your limbs? Right now we're just in this unstable position, but it's a little bit in that side to side plane of motion, getting that booty in. One more, hold it out there. Good, push into the ground with that right hand, Nate. Raise your left hand. Good, breathe. Squeeze it out there, Kelly. I didn't tell you, come back in. 5, 4, 3, 2. Soft body, whatever that means to you. That could be a child's pose. It can be a cat and cow. It can be a rest. Because again, when we get unstable, right, we also pucker. We also tighten. We shorten the breath. Okay, just a second. Enough to down-regulate yourself. Come back. How fortunate are we to have a second side? Okay, so you're gonna find an extension on the other side. Extend the left leg and the right arm now. Again, start with breath, start with balance. Good, and as you're ready, squeeze that left leg out as wide as you can. Again, continue to push down into the ground. Can you feel that scapula come towards the hip? Again, you're still holding, homie. Hold it out there. We're waking it up. We're waking it up. Now you add that motion. So you got 5 more. And that's just a good rule of thumb, right? If we squeeze, if we find the end range of motion, you increase the motor control or the demand there. You wake it up. Now we have the little stability. Can we find the motion? We're training patterns, not just muscles. Good job, Nate. Keep lifting that right arm. Keep a little tension out of the breath. On 5, you're gonna hold it out there nice and wide again. Good, hold it, breathe. Can you breathe in that challenge? 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice work. Oh, oh. Hey, where are you guys going? You guys going back to your child's house? Okay, cool. All right, you guys are gonna come back. This time you're gonna kick your right leg out to the side. So right leg out to the side. And then you're gonna push through that pinky edge blade of the foot. So can your foot stay flat? I was gonna come stand on the edge of Nate's foot. It's like I'm gonna anchor it in. Okay, so now find that child's pose, drop your booty back. Tuck your chin, feel that in the inner thigh, keep that right leg long. That alone in itself is pretty nice, right? Now pull yourself back up to the tabletop position, really flex your hips, almost like frog. Squeeze into the ground, squeeze your hips, and push into the ground with your hands. That feels good kind of too. Okay, now drop your booty back. Tuck the chin, breathe. Continue to push through the right edge of the right foot. Pull yourself back forward. Again, flex those hips, tighten the peaches, push into the ground. Can you find that cat-like motion? All right, and I tell people the felt sensation, the breath, all this, you know, tighten that stuff. You wanna have muscles, you wanna have tone, you wanna have ability. To me, it's all the same. It's a motor pattern. You have to squeeze it. You have to push into the ground, back against your posture. And oh yeah, your breath should probably be behind it too. Good, one more time. Come back up to that tabletop position and transition to the other side as you is ready. Again, it starts with a good in range of motion. Can you push through the left edge of that left foot? And that's really hard for some people just to turn their feet there, okay? Again, you got a little tension into the ground. You like where your posture's at. And then you drop that butt back into the child's pose. Tuck the chin, little breath, little ease, and find that little seesaw forward. As you come forward, literally flex those hips. Can you push them towards the ground and then push back? Really, we're looking for about 5 breaths here. It should take us about a minute. It's easy peasy, kind of saucy breathy. Good hip drive right there, Nate. And you don't always have to take the maximum range. Can you find it? Can you make sure those shoulders are just right over your wrist? We want this somatic or felt sensation. It's okay to have the core pattern, to use this crazy tension, but we also want you to explore to find that ease. Once you guys have done 5 of those, the invitation is going to be to find a modified side plank facing the camera. So I don't want to get out of there.
I like that.
So let's have you guys will go, Kelly, let's have you go on left knee and left hand down, and you'll face the water just like me. All right, and then Nate, you'll go left hand, left knee, but you'll face the camera. Okay, hand can just go nice and straight. So when we're looking at our landmarks as Nate's finding entry, I want my hand just neutral, and I want this shoulder over the wrist and the fingers spread. Okay, then this wrist is in line with your knee, which is also in line with that ankle. Okay, we get that big long line. So push your hips forward, and then we're gonna raise this top hand and invite the thumb to the back. Okay, so when I say push those hips forward and then find the back line, can you lean back a little bit? Okay, you push into the ground with your left hand, driving into the ground towards that pinky. You find this lift right here, and then you set that scapula. As you get this set, you can pull this thumb back. Okay, head comes back ever so slightly. You too, Kelly, soften the head a little bit. Hips are driven forward, pretty good positions. Now raise that top leg. As you raise that top leg, just squeeze against that top range. That left hand is still continually pushing into the ground with the shoulder blade pulling back towards the hip. You feel that, and you raise the right leg against it. Right foot comes to the ground. Thread the needle. The right arm's gonna go underneath. Good, eyes can follow it, whatever feels good. Come back up, establish your back line, raise the top leg. Good, back down, 4 more. Look at you guys. Looking like freaking ballerinas over here. So Kelly, check me out when you come back. Your head's kind of finishing in this position when you're here. There you go, so tuck the chin back a little bit. And that's a big thing for most people. There's this postural checklist thing, right? We talk about lining up the joints, and the last thing we check is kind of our head position. Can we get the tension out of the head? And once we feel there, can we breathe? Right? If our nervous system feels safe, that motor pattern is more likely to stick. Good, get up top, Nate, hold it. Kelly, you're almost off the hook. Push those hips. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. You guys will turn and face the other way. Okay, set yourself up, shoulder right over the wrist. The knee and the heel are all in that nice straight line. Can you get all the way through the palm, right? Good habit to get into, Nate. Use your whole hand, right? We're gonna wanna cheat sometimes to get there, right? Can you find the back line? Just get in the head position, the shoulder stack. It takes going through this list to kind of dial in to get softened. Once you like where everything's going, bring that top leg up. And as you get that top leg up, we've got new feedback, right? Pushing those hips forward, Nate. Find that pelican head a little bit. Push the right hand into the ground and drip that shoulder blade back towards that hip. Good, left leg comes to the ground, thread the needle. Good, you can hinge through that hip, you come all the way back up, you come up, you establish this nice strong back line, and then you come back down. Good job, Kelly. Push those hips, find that length. Good, one arm push up. And that's kind of the way I look at that one arm that's down low. Can I still set that? There's lots to think about, and that's part of the reason why yoga or movement practices are so good for you, is driving you into the present, into this felt sensation, and breath has to be part of it. This isn't just about your physicality, it's about your brain. It's about switching things. Nate, get up there, save your wife, bring that head back a little bit, really push in with that right shoulder, trust it. Shake the head out, soften. 3, 2, and 1. Nice work. Good. Take a seat on your, let's drop you back in. Kick your right leg out to the side again. Okay? And you're going to drop your butt back. So drop your butt back. This time you're going to externally rotate your right foot. So it's going to come up and away. You come onto that heel. There you go. Now you're good. So go this way. Oh, so that's external rotation of your hip. Okay, pull yourself back to the tabletop position, but come onto your big toe. So then that's internal rotation of that hip. So can that whole femur turn? Okay, now you got it 5 times. Drop the hips back, externally rotate. Good, come forward, internally rotate. Good, couple more, beautiful. How good does that feel? Right, that's your adductor, but also how your hamstring works in with it.
good stretch for back too.
Yeah. And I don't really like to stretch, but I got no problems moving. This is one of those movements that I come back to, and I know when I'm doing it, everything is better. All right, so if your hips are getting jacked up, your back feels a little funky, this is one of the top places I start with people. It's because they just finding that internal and external, that's the biggest thing I look for. Okay, let's go over to the other side. Starting to sweat. We're almost there, right? So find that external rotation, drop the hip back too, Kelly, tuck the chin, then come back forward and hold that internal rotation. So a good rule of thumb, if we're doing 5 reps, that first one's gonna maybe be a little bit longer. Squeeze, use the tension, very mindful of it. And then you transition into this flowy like practice where you transition forward and back. You find that little bit of ease. And you guys are doing a really good job of overdoing the hips. If you can just really keep the hip on top of the knee, that might challenge your internal rotation a little bit more. So you see how you really bent forward? You're really doing that, but at the sake of your torso. So if you just come right here where my hip is flexed, I have less internal rotation versus if I came down here. So can you find that kind of tabletop where the arms are engaged and just what internal rotation is available there? And that's what I mean when I say compensate. People sometimes get offended. What do you mean I'm compensated? I'm not good at it. We all do it, right? The body takes the path of least resistance. We're using training and intentional or conscious movement to overcome that. Good, nice work. As you guys finish up there, we're gonna have you guys take a seat on your butt, like that seated posture position you like so much. You guys can face each other, stare into each other's eyes lovingly. Okay, those legs are gonna come back out in front of you. We're right back into that seated posture position. Bring those arms into the W. Okay, thumbs are gonna come to the back. Okay, neck's gonna relax and soften out of it, right? So you find your posture, shake the head out, you find your breath, right? You're tired, you're fatigued. Can you come back to this resilience? Can you come back to the center? Feet come off the ground. Feet come off the ground. They're both gonna extend as long as they can. Pull them right back in. As you do that, raise your chest, flex your ankles, lean back. Good, 5 more times. Extend them out, come back in. This is your little finisher. Good, you got it, Kelly. And if it's too hard to do 2 legs right now, just hold. Or if you need to do 1 leg at a time and pedal, you can pedal. If your feet need to stay on the ground, stay on the ground. Always invitation, less of, none of, more of. Give yourself that big hug, guys. That was the little finisher. This was a really effective core workout because we went into the ground. We found length in the back of the body. We connected the side body. We found a little bit of rotation, and then we set it all back with our posture before we settle into a little ease, right? And that position is just nice to come back down to. You really need to calm yourself down. What's more calming than a little seated fetal position, right? So come out of that position a little bit, settle into your meditative pose. And this is where you find that lovely 2 bells sound from Elevated Embers Recording Studio, right? I can hear the fire crackling in the background, the little lo-fi beats, right? So can we settle our breath into about that 5 seconds in? 5 seconds out, nice and slow on the way down. Inhale comes in, nice and slow. 4, 3, 2, 1. Soft body exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Can you find this subtle rhythm just in and out of the nose? And the breath doesn't have to be gigantic, you just need to get what you need. Specifically with coherent breath, I really like to think of the breath as energy. As the inhale comes in, it comes up the spine, through the heart space to the top of the head. As you exhale, it comes back down through the heart space to the softening of the belly. And if you ever lose the rhythm, the sound of the bells, the beat, the thoughts begin, what's beautiful is you can come back here, you can come back to this center. And literally, that's exactly what we did today as we came back to center. Came back to our core. Right? Can we stabilize the spine to move our limbs? To open up that heart to connect to its energy and possibilities. Can you breathe love, light, optimism, new possibilities? Can you let go, surrender, expectation, lean into faith? Just connect to the slowness of now and your rhythm. Imagine if you were a child just playing in the water. I love it. That's one of my favorite sayings, right? Make your 8-year-old and your 80-year-old self proud today. It's a good one to end us on. Thank you guys for your lovely energy. Appreciate you. Thank you. That's awesome.